So, incidentally, the way the camera platform is built into, on one side we have technology, on the other hand, the customer always wants a solution. And the way the customer would perceive the solution is when we actually articulate the value for what they are actually buying out of this particular hardware, right? So this is applicable. Our tech that we see now is very readily absorbable and applicable to manufacturing segment. And for manufacturing, the transformation that it can bring about is, today, a simple task of picking a bolt and then placing it into a screw hole is an unsolved problem. Why? When you place the bolt, you need to understand whether it is misthreaded or not misthreaded, and you cannot expect the part to be always presented in a very stringent position and a manner, right? So a system needs to be able to kind of adapt and adjust and start placing the whole thing into it, right? Now that ability comes only when you have a sense that can actually see that, hey, there is something that is actually changing, and then a blind man, it's harder for them to even understand where the kind of the hole is, but that any camera can do. But the issue is not without a motion sensing that actually comes into it. Now, let's say if I have this, I'm saying, hey, it's able to pick a particular bolt and then start placing it, right? And you're saying this. What impact does it have for the customer? Why does he want to automate in the first place? What kind of transformation? Instantly, what you're also saying is that when my robot with this enabled with this camera with our vision platform is capable of picking, orienting, and placing any kind of objects, right? It is kind of agnostic to variations. Without any training, if I'm able to pick an object, so which means I can pick any object. Suddenly, I've become a universal platform, right? So, which means for picking a bolt and probably putting a steering wheel onto a car, or actually trying to assemble two parts together, or a wire, or your screen of your mobile phone, you don't have to have a different machinery, right? Today we go about custom designing every machine, and takes anywhere close to 2 years, if at all it is feasible to even do that, right? Suddenly when we kind of universalize this, a customer who has invested in 300 crores to make one line to make an automotive part, let's say for example to an automotive OEM like Mahindra, right, and a Toyota, for a connecting rod, the number of stages it passes through is exactly the same, 15 stages probably of manufacturing it has to go through. Except you have to maintain a entirely different line for the Mahindra parts and Toyota parts, simply because they have a very different dimension, right? Now, a small dimension variations, it's not like phenomenally large, it's small dimensional variations, small nuances of structures here and the shapes here and there, right? Now, Mahindra comes back and says that, and this 300 crore is viable only if I'm generating more than 30,000 parts every month, probably, right? Now, Mahindra comes and says that, hey, it's a huge hit, I want 50,000 parts, and if he's not